Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. We're gonna talk about what to expect in the 4th month. There's gonna be a lot of talk about feeding issues because that's where I stopped the last video, what to expect in the 3rd month. Anyways, let's see. So basically we just got to the 4-month mark when I was saying that we had to switch in her feeding into solid foods. I also did just upload a video about just this whole feeding issue and how we switched into the solid foods. But the point was that we got to a point when she just completely refused the formula, and I even waited out the whole day of not feeding her at all, like offering her formula every time she was hungry. She always refused it. She didn't eat the whole day, and then at the end of the day I just gave her a yogurt that I had at home and she ate the whole thing. And then I was just like, I had enough. Like as I said, I spent like 8 hours of trying to feed her for days, some days, and it just like didn't happen. It was so frustrating because first of all, no one wants their baby to not grow, but when they don't eat or when they start this whole formula refusal, they are getting in continuously, they're getting less and less and less and less formula in because you're trying all the tricks that works for a while, but then it only works just like maybe twice a day or 3 times a day, and she's getting less food in her by the day. And obviously if you have every parent has a concern of their baby not growing well enough, but in our case it was extremely important that she keeps growing and doesn't lose any weight. So I was extremely anxious, frustrated, everything that you can imagine. I have to mention that also for some people it is a possibility that your baby is teething at the 3-4 month mark, because there are babies who start teething that early. And that can definitely cause them to refuse any food as well. So definitely check the sign to see if your baby is maybe teething, because at least you know then why she's not eating. She didn't start teething until the 12-month mark. Oh, sorry, she was exactly 5 kilos at that time. And basically what happened is, so I made her a smoothie, and I talked about that in in the previous video, and also in the feeding video, and then also chicken she was getting, and she was getting the yogurt, and that happened, yes, so right at the beginning of the 4 month. So basically we had to go from not eating formula to switching completely to solid food. So from the next day on I made her a smoothie, and I was drinking a smoothie every single morning, so I just made her a specific smoothie as well. And I put lots of veggies in there, lots of different fruits to get different vitamins and minerals in her smoothie. This is in December, mind you, because I wanted to get everything organic. Like I only wanted to give her organic anything in the smoothie, so everything I was putting in the smoothie was organic. And then I had to get organic fruits, and then in December you can, it's just you don't have as much of the variety than you would in the summer. So she was also getting organic frozen berries in the smoothie as well, and the banana. And so she also got fat in the smoothie. I was putting in, I think I started with just fish oil at that time. Pretty sure I started with just fish oil. I bought the fish oil that has a good taste, the Barlean's fish oil that actually tastes really good, and I put that in there because fat is extremely important for your baby. So basically what I wanted to try to do is to imitate, so to speak, the formula. So when I looked at the formula, at the back of the formula, and saw how much vitamins, minerals are in there, and in what quantities, how much protein in there, how much protein, how much carbohydrates, how much sugar, how much fat, what kind of fat is in there, and then I wanted to give her obviously something that provides the same nutrients, but it's not a formula, basically. So what she was getting in this, so she wasn't just getting the smoothie, but that was the smoothie was basically something that she was getting throughout the day, and she was getting other stuff as well. But so with the smoothie, we went with the fruits, veggies, organic fruits and organic veggies, fish oil. Later on, I added in other oils as well. So slowly added other oils as well. So now she gets either flaxseed oil or hemp seed oil or MCT oil. And she always gets fish oil in her smoothies, but she gets fish oil, extra fish oil in other foods as well. So she's getting a lot of fat, because that's super important for babies. I'm trying to limit the sugar. I know she needs sugar, but they need a little bit more than you would think. You would think like nothing, but they do need some sugar actually for the brain development. So I actually, to the smoothie, I didn't add anything, because there is the naturally occurring sugar in the fruits, but in her other foods I did give a little coconut syrup. We use coconut syrup and then later on honey to get her enough sugar without going to too much sugar. And they need protein. To the smoothie, I was mixing in protein. So I had a protein mix that I used as well, and I was mixing in to her smoothie a certain amount of protein as well. So as I said, I was trying to kind of mimic the formula as much as I can nutrition wise. So I'm a nutritionist, I know how to kind of get that. Obviously I couldn't measure how much vitamins and minerals she's getting from the fruits, so I was kind of just hoping for the best in that case, and I was just switching up fruits and veggies from day to day. Anyway, so she got onto the smoothie amazingly well. No, she didn't refuse it from the beginning, never refused it, so to speak. She's still on the smoothie, and at 18 months obviously she's eating solid foods, but now the smoothie is important because she's teething, and lots of the time she just can't eat enough solid foods, so we still using the smoothie base. It just changed a little bit. She went from refusing the formula and not eating almost anything to eating the smoothie like a champ the next day, and she just took to it beautifully. She was also getting breast milk. Mind you, I was breastfeeding her until 1 year old, but it was just such a tiny amount that I really can't say that she was getting too much out of that. So other things that she was getting was chicken soup, blended up. So chicken soup, by chicken soup I mean organic chicken cooked and with water and that's blended. And she didn't like that. You know, babies at that age, the 3 to 4 months, they really prefer sweet things, and they don't really get onto not sweet food. But this was something I wanted her to start getting used to, getting meat and for the iron, for the protein content, right? Because iron is very important for the babies as well. So basically she did eat it, okay? So she did eat her chicken dose. She didn't really like it. And by eat it I meant we were using the bottles that she was getting the formula from. I had to cut the nipple part. We had to cut a bigger hole on the nipple because obviously the food was less liquidy. I mean, I put lots of water in the smoothie because you know, when they are 6 months old and you slowly adding them solid food, you start introducing them to solid food, they are still getting a lot of formula and breast milk, and they get a lot of water in there, and they don't have to actually drink extra water. But with us, we didn't have the whole month of introduction solid food. We just had to give it to her so she eats and grows and gets everything that she needs to. So we had to switch her completely. So she didn't really want to drink water. I wanted her to try to drink a little bit of water, just to add a little bit of water, more water into her diet, because she wasn't getting enough from solid food, obviously. We tried with the bottle, but she just really didn't want to get on it. So basically she was still constipated, and the constipation just came from obviously not getting enough water. She was getting a little bit of prune juice every day up until she reached that 6-month mark. She started to 6-7 month mark. She actually started to drink water, and then that constipation solved. That issue was solved. But until then, I really watered up the juice, the smoothie. The smoothie was completely water based and very liquidy. Obviously I wanted to make it as liquidy as possible because she was sucking it from the bottle, so she wasn't eating it from the spoon at the 4-month mark. And she also was getting a little bit of prune juice mixed with water to just kind of get, because otherwise she was extremely constipated. So the other thing she was getting, as I said, was chicken. She was kind of getting used to that slowly. First absolutely didn't want to eat it, then she ate a little bit out of it, and then this was also watered up and made extremely liquidy, so she could actually drink it still from the cup. And then veggies, she also got some veggies mashed up, pureed up, and again made extremely liquidy. I mean, I could feed her with a spoon, but I prefer to give these so she can just drink it. She was eating yogurt as well almost every day, not quite every day, with the spoon. So I started to spoon feed her as well at the 4-month mark. And she, with the yogurt, we bought her Greek yogurt because it's higher in protein. Organic yogurt, it was organic and completely unflavored. I didn't want any extra sugar, any flavor, nothing in it. Obviously, to eat it, we had to change that, and basically I was using the fish oil. So she got, because this Barlin's fish oil tastes amazing, so I always mixed that into her yogurt, and that gave flavor and sweetness to it, so she actually ate it. And it also a little bit of coconut syrup was added just because she needed more sugar in her diet, and I know that sounds so bad, but she didn't really get too much sugar otherwise, and they do need sugar for their brain development. The brain uses sugar for energy, so there is a certain amount of sugar she needs to get during every day. So we did need to add that in, and then we used the form of organic coconut syrup to add that in. And the last thing she was getting was just something just during the night. She woke up once or twice during the night, but she had setbacks, so there were nights when she woke up more, like 4 or 5 times. And basically for the night feedings, what we had was almond milk based. So I was just a base of almond milk, extra fat added into it, so that was again in the form of the fish oil. the coconut syrup added into it for the sugar, to have the certain amount of sugar content, like we are talking about extremely small amount, and also protein, because it just doesn't have enough protein in there. So the only thing I wasn't sure enough that she gets enough of is iron. I mean, she was getting iron rich food, but I couldn't tell how much iron she's getting, so I was just wanted to make sure that she does get iron. So every second, third day she also got cold version of hot chocolate. So basically with the almond milk we mixed in a little bit of the hot chocolate you can get, with the least amount of sugar that you can get, and she kind of liked it. I can't say she loved it. She loves it now, but she drank it, and that's the main reason for that was really just to get the iron. For this feeding issue, this was our solution, and if you are going through the same thing and you just can't figure it out and can't afford for your baby to lose weight and not to gain weight like us, and you just have to completely switch to solid foods at this 4-month mark. It's doable. It's completely doable, and it works out. You just have to be really sure that she's getting every single vitamins and minerals, and also you want to make sure what you introduce her at that age, because the digestive system is really just not developed well. So for example, I didn't want to give her baby cereals or any kind of cereals at that age. I didn't want anything wheat in her diet, any grains in her diet just yet. I tried to make sure that she gets enough protein and carbohydrates, fats for sure. She was getting so much fat, and yeah, the iron at those age. Obviously, and your calcium is very important as well. Your calcium and your vitamin D. She was also still on her vitamin D. She's always been on her vitamin D supplement and probiotic supplement. She was getting those. So I do want to point it out, because I didn't I don't know if I did point it out previously or in the feeding video, that I didn't give up on formula. I was still trying to give her formula, and I usually managed it only when she was sleeping and I was dream feeding her. So she was still, and she was breastfeeding until 1 year old, but I was having such a small amount of milk at that point that I don't think she got so much nutrient wise in there, but I'm sure she got a lot of other benefits, immune, and just to keep her immune system up anyways. So I kept breastfeeding her, obviously. With the formula, we kind of were down to just one dose of formula a day that I could kind of give her in different versions, either mixed with juice or when she was sleeping. So she was still I was still trying to get her to get some formula in as well, just in case we are missing any vitamins or minerals or any essential nutrients from her diet. We still tried adding formula for another month, almost until the 6-month mark. I was still trying to get her to get some amount of formula in to her, and that was just getting less and less amount that I could get in. So that's all I'm gonna talk about in today's video. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.